Mahadev, Jai Bhavani, Jai Hind, Namaskar. Welcome back to Industry Talks with BC ANANT. After a long pause, the show of hopes is back. We are back with a new enthusiasm, but the same content and the same promise to distribute hope amongst each and every one. And today, Industry Talks and BCA Foundation, BHARAT, is honored to have two eminent speakers and faces in the gaming industry. India being one of the largest game consumers and a country with brilliant programmers, we have with us two entrepreneurs, two people, two faces who not only create warfare games, but also are working to preserve the history and the great culture of Bharat. I would like to welcome Rajesh ji and Hitesh ji to the show. Please welcome. Namaskar.
Okay.
Thank you, Anand. Namaskar.
Thank you. How are you both? I hope you are fine.
Yes, we are doing absolutely wonderful. Thank you for having us here at your
Yeah,
session. Look
it's an
forward to
honor. Yeah, same. The fact is that we planned this whole thing in May, and then here we are in January 2021, the English year.
Yeah.
And now finally we are going to have some conversation and distribute hopes via you to the people. So there are a few questions, as you already know, that we'll be asking you questions. The first thing I want to know from both of you, or whosoever wants to answer this, why gaming industry? And why did you both choose to be game creators, the creator of games?
Rajesh.
It's a very simple question to answer. I mean, you ask anyone from this industry, they're gonna all have the same answer. They've been gamers since they're a kid, and they were probably technical. They wanted to do something technical at the same time. They want to get paid for doing something they love. So I've been a gamer ever since, I don't know, for a long time. And I learned about this industry when I was 17 or 18 years old. And it took me a while to enter, but when I entered, there was no turning back. It's been more than 10 years now, so there's no turning back ever. Yeah.
So if I may ask, Hitesh ji, how did you guys meet, both of you?
Yeah, so I mean, just to, before answering this, I'll just add my point, how and why I got into gaming. So as rightly said by Rajesh, so it started from a very early age. Like, we were all gamers and we are so enthusiastic and passionate about this gaming thing. So you know you always had this idea that you always wanted to do something which you like, something you love. So that's what passion is all about. Definitely, yes. In my case, it took me some time to figure it out, how to get into gaming industry, what are the different platforms, and that research, somewhat helped me. I started this research work when I was in class 11th or 12th, somewhere in 2000, early 2000, and then it started. I figured it out that there are two mediums where you can get into gaming industry. Either you be a 3D artist initially, or you be a programmer. So programming required a lot of maths and science and logics, so which I was not very much comfortable with. So I took the other route, which was game art. So where you create 3D graphics or characters or props, whatever. So this is where my area of expertise and interest lies. So I started my journey there, and then worked with initially with some animation studios, some animation companies, and then got my first break in the gaming industry. That was at Games to Win. So there I met Rajesh. So Rajesh was working there as a programmer, and I joined that company as a project manager.
So
We're
the
working on a
journey
project
started.
together.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this was interesting that how we got connected, because there were, I think, more than 100 employees there. So and I had a different team. I was completely looking after a different vertical, and Rajesh was involved with the different projects altogether. So we knew each other by faces, but we never had interacted. So there was one project which the company wanted to start. It was something which was related to a sniper game, and we wanted to give an Indian theme to it. So, and that's how Rajesh volunteered for that work, that he wanted to do that programming for that game, and I was in charge for 3D and the project management side. So that's how we connected.
Pretty interesting to know. And the I must confess this: the naval ship behind Mr. Rajesh is
Yeah.
I'm not able to take my eyes off them. I have already seen the trailer on the YouTube channel, but you know I'm loving it.
Thank you.
Well, with that said, the next question comes in my mind. As you said, the sniper game that had to be given an Indian touch. How do you see the Indian gaming industry in context to the global paradigm?
uh, currently the the gaming industry is more inclined towards the mobile gaming, which we play it on mobiles and tablets. But very recently, I think from past 2.5 years back, you're seeing a slight shift where audience are willing to explore into PC gaming. Definitely, the users are much lesser compared to what we have for mobile. But at the same time, you're seeing a lot of developers nowadays are looking to develop games for PC. So that is something which is very interesting. It's a very good thing to have, because uh, mobile games are usually it's a very short-lived game. So the product lifespan is like 2 months, 3 months, and then you have to come up with a new game. So you cannot continue with the same game, or make a franchise of a particular game. It's very rare. Something like PUBG or Free Fire or Candy Crush, these kind of games for more than 5 years, 10 years. But apart from that, it would be very difficult to find each and every game which will last that much long. So, but yeah, from the industry point of view, yes, it's competitive, because you have a lot of developers working for the mobile front. You have few good developers who have got into PC and consoles. And apart from the industry point of view, there is esports, which is a big upcoming industry in gaming in India. So there's a lot of thing happening in the gaming cycle.
One second. I'm sorry.
So, to add on to this question, the next question is, with Atmanirbharta being in the spotlight, the prima facie for a long period of time now, how do you see yourself and your company, both of you? And what are your aspirations for the upcoming years for Neosphere Interactive?
Okay. So I think I'll go first. Just the whole Atmanirbharta thing by PM Modi is a great initiative, we think. And it's good for us to be self-sufficient and not be dependent on any other country for anything at all. And this also applies to games. And a lot of people have, recognized that thing, and they are getting into the fray of doing their own thing. So it's more of like an aspiration. People are getting into it. Inspiration. People are getting into it. So what we have ahead, when we started, we had this core objective when we began this company, that we are only going to be making content games that based on Indian military history. So that is not going to change. And with the Atmanirbharta thing coming in, it's just an added bonus for us that we got even more inspired for doing these things. So this is just the beginning. This is the first product that we are creating. This is a tribute to the Indian Navy. Going forward, we want to give tribute to the paras, the Indian Army, Indian Air Force, and we want to do a bunch of things. And we also want to enter into the esports industry, which is also growing. Yeah, so Atmanirbharta is a great thing that's pretty inspirational. Yeah.
It is to us as well. BCA Foundation
Yes.
is
Yes.
also inspired by Atmanirbharta. We have given the world, in fact, everything Bharat has given it. Anything, Hitesh, do you want to add on to the question?
I think what Rajesh had said initially, that the content was pretty much decided. So there's one good thing between us is there's no battle, or there's no argument on what content we should go for.
Yeah.
So see, normally in any business, you take a decision on the basis of the revenue generation model. You see that you understand the market study, you understand the crowd behavior, basically user demographics and all. So there's a lot of things, but and this for us was constant for us from the very start. So there was no debate, there was no argument that why Indian military games based on wars or history, things like that. So there was no debate at all. So it was very easy, and I believe that that sync is very important. So we both are co-founders. We both are the sole members currently. So, but I feel that syncing is very much important, because that's how you can live longer from the company's point of view.
Very true. Now, the audience watching you and I and everybody has now finally known that you and Rajesh, you met, both of you met on working on some different projects. But when you met, how did Neosphere happen? Because we all want to know the journey that you have lived, you have created, you have an empire, even if everything has been taken from you.
Okay.
So
So when we met, we knew that we both are interested in same things. Okay? We were like-minded people. We kind of like to play the same kind of games and everything. And we also military enthusiast, and he's also a military enthusiast. So we used to talk and chat about the same things. And after the project got over, I got out of the company first, and then this guy followed. And after that, we were working on our own project individually. Okay, that's the truth. I was working on my own project. He was working on his own project. And after about a year or a year and a half, I believe, we again met, and then we decided that okay, we have to do something together because our interests and our ideas sync. So it's better for us to get together, start a venture, or do something about it. And we started brainstorming about the different ideas that we could come up with. What's the first game going to be? And given the amount of resources, the limited resources that we have, how can we come up with a product soon enough so that we can approach investors when we want to grow and all that. So we initially started off with something like a top-down shooter, commando style game, the classic commando style game, which was involving para SF and all their missions. So we made a small prototype. It took us about 6 to 7 months to make a small prototype for that. And after that, we approached different people. It didn't work out. And all of a sudden, and in the year 2016, we decided, okay, we are going to register a company. And then Neosphere Interactive was born in the month of July 2016. And a couple of months before that, we had already decided that, okay, this is the game that we're going to be working on, the game that you see in the background. Indian Naval Front, 1971 Indian Naval Front. So the game idea was born and the assets were already being built. And then after that, we gradually started working on it. And in 2017 is when we actually started, full throttle on this game, developing the game full throttle. So that is the whole journey from a small prototype to scrapping that prototype and then coming up with a newer idea. And going forward, we are again going to bring up the prototype and build something bigger out of it. So, yeah, so that was the journey so far.
Precise yet beautiful. I must confess this. Hiteshji, you have some memories to discuss, to share.
I mean, a lot of good memories. As yes, there was a long break. There was a break for a year that Rajesh was involved in his own work. I was involved in my work, but we used to meet regularly, uh, and we used to always discuss about you know not exactly the current affairs, but the normally what we used to talk among friends, about Indian Army, Indian Air Force, and we always have this common topic popping up from somewhere. So and so this was one fine day, we 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 were there like talking, just like a normal day for us, and it just clicked that let's start something together and then see how it pans out, because we both had similar plans of starting something of our own. Uh, and I knew that Rajesh had that programming skills. So, why not to collaborate it and do it together? Because, the thought process is the same because we were both like-minded. So there was never a question, about कि आगे क्या होगा नहीं होगा and all that. So we just went with the flow that time.
True. As a few minutes ago, I was before talking to both of you, I was giving a speech in public, and I also quoted that "Kya hoga?" Result is the secondary part. Process is important. So
Exactly.
beautifully said. Now, the most important thing to any project is a team. And before having a team, the most important thing comes as research, as you said, the demographics. So to add on to this, we have geographic, we have psychographic, demographic, and then other behavioral aspects and elements to look into. So how do you research? And to add on to this question only, what team, what is your team, who all are there in your team?
We're
So
it. We're the team.
yeah, as of now, you can see the two members on your screens. These are the two teams of Neosphere Interactive. So definitely we would want to have a larger team. As of now, we are bootstrapped. We are self-funded. So definitely we have taken assistance from a lot of freelance people who have done, works for us in bits and pieces. But majority of us, it's two of us. And when talking about the research about this particular project, so when we were working on the prototype, which earlier Rajesh had mentioned, top-down view commando style. So I had this we had faced this challenge that this when there is a lot of characters, because you had commandos, you have para SF, you have enemies. So there's a lot of character animations which you have to do. So this was one of the challenge which we had faced. So we always had this idea that we wanted to do a first person shooter game, third person shooter game, taking para SF or Indian Army or ground forces in the picture. But we knew what challenges we're gonna face, and we knew that we were both of us. We were only two at that point of time, and we couldn't take the step further because you know the thing was at that point of time it was we were smart enough to understand what was our weakness was. So we knew that these are the kind of challenges which we will be having, and it will be very difficult for us to overcome that challenge. So we thought what alternate steps, or what, because we had decided that we want to make games. So what would be the alternate step? And then we started doing research, and about 1971 where I started doing a lot of readings from the internet, books, and saw a lot of documentaries. So one thing came up that the naval war which we had in 1971 was never been spoken publicly, just in terms of movies or in terms of documentaries. So it was majorly from the forefront of Battle of Longewala, where we had border movie inspired from that scenario. Then from the Air Force point of view, you might have heard about you know uh, Wing Commander Sikho. So even that story, you have books on that. So but from the naval point of view, there was not much which was known or available to the public domain. So we thought this could be an opportunity for us where we can take this as an advantage and work something from the Navy point of view. And because there were a couple of mobile games at that point of time which had said that this is an Indian Army game or it's an Indian Air Force game, but there's nothing from the Navy perspective. So this is how we started with this concept. And then definitely whatever research it took us some time, 3 to 4 months, to understand what actually happened in the war, and what all ships were used, what all aircrafts were used. And then accordingly, you know we had to figure it out, uh, what would be the levels, what were the missions conducted then. So all these things were a part of research. So yeah, it took us some 3 to 4 months time before we actually started.
Yeah, true. So in fact, two of you better than 200, I must say. And we all wish you the best to get more than thousands of employees. And then someday I'll come and have an autograph and selfie, in fact, with both of you. In fact, I've promised Rajesh bhai to have a cup of tea with him. So maybe I can join you as well,
Sure.
if at all
Absolutely.
you consume tea. Now, with me, I would also share an experience here that I have also been trained. I got a training of 5 day military hardcore training, though I personally feel that was just the tip of the iceberg. So, but yeah, I can connect to whatever you said right now. It was really important for the youth to know. Now, both of you quoted one thing: e-gaming. E-gaming has been continuously in the role play, gameplay, and a lot of YouTube streamers we see every day. They are earning lakhs and lakhs every single day, in fact, by streaming. So, how do you see the Indian gaming industry from the perspective of e-gaming?
Yeah, I mean, see, there is an opportunity because there's a lot of content available and there's a lot of free content available. So when you talk about streamers and YouTubers or players who are streaming their games or skills online, uh, there's some small data. I think it was shared last year by Google that the most watched content on YouTube is games. So it is not songs, it is not you know videos, it is not documentaries. So the most watched videos on YouTube are games. So definitely you have an audience, right? And there's an audience in bulk, and thanks to the data providers where the data services has gone down so cheap. So everyone can afford it, everyone can watch the content. Streamers are now talking in Hindi while their streams are on. So that's another regional aspect to it, where people from a B grade, C grade cities can also be a part of this major industry. So that is something which is very good. And as I said, thanks to the content which is available on mobile, especially, and from the PC point of view, yes, there is a lot of PC gaming streamers as well on YouTube and on other streaming sites. So, and you have a very big and decent audience for that as well.
So, with that, another question comes up in mind. Is Neosphere some way in near future looking towards developing mobile games as well?
Well, to be honest, we did start creating mobile games. I mean, this game when it started, it was designed for mobile phones. We saw the output, we did not like it, we were disappointed with it. And us being PC gamers, and this is our company, so we thought, why go the mobile route? And PC gamers pay, and also, we can have a more immersive experience when you make a game on PC. So we scrapped the whole thing for mobile, and then we got into PC. Now we're not abandoning the mobile platform altogether. We will be using the mobile platform for creating promotional titles for the bigger ones. Like for instance, this is the PC title. So we might create a smaller light version for mobile phones, which will be probably completely free, and actually it'll be free. And the players, once they're done playing the mobile game, they'll be redirected to the PC version. So we'll use it more as a promotional tool than as a centerpiece, or as a main platform for developing games. But we're not completely abandoning it though. So right
Yeah,
now, it's the focus is only on PCs and consoles.
actually we cannot even we thought at one point of time that we'll be completely focused on PC gaming, but that's always there. That is a mainstream platform. But yes, from the mobile point of view, as Rajesh said, we have to reach to the maximum audience, and we can only do that with the help of mobile support. So that we will always I would say maybe out of 5 games, you might see 4 games on PC, 1 game on mobile. So it will be something like that ratio. But yes, it will be there.
Great. So I hope to play one soon, and definitely I'm already loving the graphics, so I cannot even imagine the quality of game. Now, one skill that you both can expect from an intern who wish to intern under both of you, because most of the people who watch our show are students. So, any one skill they should look up to?
Uh, well, the gaming industry or developing a game requires different streams. Okay, you have programmers, you have 3D modelers, you have 2D sketch artists, you have sound designers, you have people who design games, just design games. So I can speak for my discipline, that is the programming. I would say if you want to enter the field of games, it's very important that you have a degree in computer science. It's extremely important. It's good that you have a degree in computer science because that will teach you the overall gamut of computer programming and a lot of things that are programming related. So when you have a solid basics and solid fundamentals with computer programming, and at the same time now at this day and age when you have Udemy, you have YouTube, and you have so many people creating solid good tutorials, always keep learning, and don't start with game engines right away. Start with simple languages, start with C or C++, and then spend about a couple of years mastering those languages, and then uh, then decide to pick an engine like Unity or Unreal, and that's the way to go. But it's always good to have a solid fundamentals, and the only way you can do that is by having a good degree in computer science. Computer science is extremely important.
Well, Hitesh, any specific skill you wish to see
Yeah.
in
So
your intern?
so I look so I look after the art side. How the graphics or how the overall game would look like. So definitely, as an intern, yes, if we have to have someone at the office, definitely he needs to know some stuff before he can, start implementing on those assets or projects. So a graphic designer to start off with, someone who has done courses apart from whatever graduation they might be pursuing. If someone who is a graphic designer, someone who is a 3D artist, someone who is a video editor. So, all these things definitely is involved in gaming, because it's not only about creating a 3D model or, maybe creating a 2D button. Sometimes we need help of editors as well, who can edit our trailers, who can edit our cinematics for the game. So all these things are important. So these are the different areas where maybe students or freshers can maybe start to get into, or maybe possess these kind of knowledge, so that they can start implementing on those assets or projects.
So, Hitesh ji, as Rajesh ji pointed, what is that one skill he wishes to see in his intern? What about you?
So yes, as I said earlier, that I look after the art side, how the game would look like, how the graphics should be. Definitely, there are couple of segments. You can be a 3D artist, you can be a 2D artist, you can be an editor, you can uh, join us as a concept artist. So there's not only one thing which is involved. There are a couple of things, and someone who has that expertise or has taken up a course somewhere and know these kind of softwares. So definitely,
Yeah. The last time I was trying to add that most importantly, regardless of what stream the intern is trying to enter from, it's extremely important that he loves games. He likes to play games. He loves games. Otherwise, once he's into the industry, even as an intern, he might feel really out of place. And if he's a programmer,
exactly.
then he might be in the industry for about a year or so, and then he'll make his jump into traditional IT. And I said I emphasized on computer science because even though it's not mandatory, I said it's extremely important. It gives you solid fundamentals in programming, in the field of programming. Even though I don't have a degree in computer science, I know where I was lacking, and it was extremely difficult for me. So if you have a 4-year degree in computer science, it's going to help you a lot. That's what I was trying to mean there.
So thank you. I mean, the people watching you and the people planning to someday intern under you must be prepared to have some good number of skills and two disciplined bosses. Well, we are coming to the close of the show, but before that, since this is called the Show of Hopes and that too named by the audience, any message you both wish to give to the youth so that they can learn?
I think youth are smarter these days. So, you know, they are probably the ones giving us messages and we are learning from them. But what we can share is experience. I think it's more from the experience rather than a message. Uh, we have whatever, from the day we had started the company, we have been facing a lot of obstacles in terms of the technical challenges or be it financial challenges, whatever. So, but one thing we both, I think Rajesh would also like to believe that we have never tried to compromise on quality. So, because end of the day, I personally believe that, you know, just like Bill Gates said, the consumer is the king. So you cannot fool a consumer. So even if you have to take extra year to complete whatever you're doing, please do that, but make it to perfect or near perfect or as much perfect you can.
Yeah, and I
Absolutely.
would just want to say, I just got 2 words: train hard, really train hard. Keep training yourself. Keep creating things, and keep outdoing yourself every time. Pick up a small project. If you're a programmer, I can only speak from the perspective of a programmer. uh, Pick up a game, whatever. Start small, don't give up on it, finish the game, and then pick something bigger. But keep training hard. That's all.
Well, that is something I have personally learned from as well, from both of you, that in order to keep training harder and to do things better, we need to continuously do, even if
You
it
have
takes
to.
a bit more time, definitely. And the last question of this session: how do you both feel to be here on Industry Talks with BC Anant and your views about Industry Talks with BC Anant?
It's been a great experience so far. We've been enjoying this interview since it started. Yeah, so it's great. And I've watched your other videos as well. I think your older video of a doctor, I believe, you
Yeah,
had interviewed a doctor, a
yeah.
COVID hero. So I watched that video as well. So you're doing a great stuff. I mean, it's a great channel, and you're bringing in people and who other people might want to listen to. They might want to take insights or ideas from. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Thank you
And
very
thank you
much.
for having us here.
It's been an honor and pleasure to have known both of you, and in fact now looking forward for creating more good content and knowledge for the people who watch us, and especially both of you being hyper nationalists and doing something for the nation, and me being a small part of it. So it's been an honor for BCA Foundation Bharat, and I dedicate all your kind words to the team BCA Bharat, the office, and not to forget Paramatma. Definitely. Thank you. It has been a great honor for having both of you. If you like what you watched right now, you must get connected to both of these people over various social media platforms. And yes, do not forget to subscribe to Industry Talks with BC Anant. And if you like our work, share it. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Signing out with a smile with Mr. Rajesh, Hitesh Ji, and BC Anant from the side of BC
Thank
Foundation
you.
Bharat. Jai Hind.
Thank you.